offshore wind, solar. Dominion Energy is a leader in the clean energy transition. We're dedicated to providing reliable, affordable, safe, and clean energy as we support and invest in our communities in 16 states. Dominion Energy is building a clean energy future. Actions speak louder. Welcome to Actions Speak Louder. I'm Peggy Fox, Dominion Energy's Media and Community Relations Manager in Northern Virginia. If you've ever been scammed or have a loved one who has, you're not alone. According to the platform Truecaller, 1 in 3 Americans have fallen victim to phone scams, and 19% on more than one occasion. About 59 million Americans report having lost money as a result of phone scams in the past 12 months, and that's up from 56 million in 2020. So you can see it's a growing problem, and we at Dominion Energy are doing everything we can to stop scammers and help our customers protect themselves against scams. Right now, you are going to learn all kinds of ways to protect yourself and your loved ones. So thank you so much for joining us. Let me introduce our guests. In studio, we have Angela McConnell, Major Angela McConnell.
Yes.
She is the founder, CEO, and president of the Northern Virginia Veterans Association. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And veterans, she's very concerned about scams related to veterans, so that's why we have Angela here. On Zoom, we have Monica Davis, and she is with our customer service. She's right here joining us on Zoom. Tell us what you do, Monica.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Monica Davis, and I'm a manager in our customer account management group. And we have responsibility for receiving phone calls from our electric customers in Virginia and North Carolina.
Excellent. Monica, we know this is such a big problem. We have information on our website about scammers. They will try to trick people, right, by using the names of companies like Dominion Energy. We're not the only company.
Yes.
It seems like all companies and governments too, banks and things like that, utilities. What do scammers do to try to make victims believe them?
Yeah, I have so much to share about this, Peggy. So scammers will use scare tactics and create a false sense of urgency to obtain your personal information. They will also threaten with a disconnection within the next hour or sooner if you don't pay immediately. What we really want our customers to know is that Dominion Energy will never threaten immediate service disconnection if payment information or payment information, personal information such as your social security number, credit card number, bank account number, if you don't provide that over the phone, via text or email, we would never threaten to disconnect your service. Additionally, it's important to know we would never ask for payment using money orders, prepaid debit cards, or gift cards. If we have customers who need our help as it relates to their payments, we will help our customers make payment arrangements or explore billing assistance options to avoid disconnect for non-payment. Payment arrangements can be made through our phone system and online. We're currently offering customers 0% down for 24 months to help them bring their bills current. Another thing that can happen, Peggy, is that scammers may approach you at your home. So live at your front door, asking for immediate payment, personal information, or requesting to enter your house. If you are uncertain whether someone claiming to be a Dominion Energy employee actually works for the company, first request to see the employee's photo identification card, which is carried by all of our employees to verify who they are. Also, be sure to look for vehicles that clearly display our Dominion Energy logo.
Wow, a lot of great tips there, Monica. Thank you so much. You talk about the fear and the urgency. I've picked up some of these scam calls. You learn not to get the phone, right? A lot of people don't even pick up the phone anymore unless you recognize who's calling. But they will trick you. One time, I actually saw the name Dominion Energy come up on my home phone and our helpline number. So of course I'm thinking, what on earth? And it was a scammer. So I can see how a lot of people might be tricked. So if we're not going to call you and demand payment, right? It's that sense of urgency that these scammers try to trick people and reel them in. Isn't that really kind of the main thing that we see from every scam?
And and that has happened to me as well, Peggy. I had a Dominion phone number come up on my phone.
Wow, and it was a scam. Did you pick it up to find out?
Yes,
like, what did you think as a, just a normal person?
I picked it up, and then once it just didn't sound right, there was a pause before a person came on the line. It just, everything about it didn't feel right. But of course, we work here, so maybe it could be somebody calling us that needs us for a work situation or what have you. So that has absolutely happened to me, but I hung up right away.
And people say, why can't you stop that? Well, we can't stop the calls. We don't own the phone system, and I'm not really sure how that might happen, but I wish we could stop it. But what we're trying to do is just to warn people that, watch out for any scams. But, since we see it in Dominion Energy, we see people using our name and number, but, we see other people scamming, and it always seems to be that sense of urgency, trying to make somebody afraid that something bad's going to happen. Oh, you're going to lose your power. When, as you said, we're not ever going to do that, right? We're never going to threaten you and tell you we're going to turn off your power. And is that something really common that you hear from people who've become victims or have taken these scam calls, that they will threaten to turn off the power within a certain time frame?
Yes, we have seen, and we share on our website and some of our communications, that the scammers may say, we'll turn your power off or disconnect you within the next hour or sooner if you don't pay immediately, which of course would scare a customer. So if you have any pause, or you're uncertain about whether a call is valid, even if Dominion Energy's name or number shows up on your call ID, you should hang up immediately.
Right. And I would even go
any personal information.
Monica, I would even go a step farther, because sometimes I've seen my parents, get calls like that and be completely certain that that's the bank, and they've got, they might even have some of your information. But you know what? Just hang up, because it's much better if you hang up and then you call the bank yourself. You call Dominion Energy yourself.
Yes. You
will not get in trouble or be penalized for that in any way whatsoever. And that's the best thing to do, the safest thing to do.
Absolutely. We recommend that our customers hang up immediately, and they can verify their account status, their balances, their due dates, and make payment arrangements by signing into the Dominion Energy app. They can check their account online, or they can call the number located on their bill. So we have several ways that customers can call in and check with us to make sure everything that they believe is happening with their account is in fact true.
Monica, you sent me some videos that we put on social media throughout the year to warn people about scammers, so I want to show some of them. And here's one that has a strong warning. And here's the video that we ran over the summer on how to spot a scammer.
Summer can be the season for scammers. Do you know how to spot a scam? Take our quiz to find out. The phone rings, the caller ID says Dominion Energy, and the caller aggressively threatens to disconnect your service immediately. This isn't how we treat our customers. Hang up, and if you're concerned, call us back at the number on your account statement. The caller requests that you pay over the phone with a prepaid debit or credit card. We will never insist on a method of payment. You are always free to choose from all payment options. The caller insists that you must make a payment immediately over the phone. Do not give out financial information over the phone. Hang up and call Dominion Energy, or sign into your account to confirm if a payment is due. Did you spot the scammer? Remember, if you have any concern that you may be talking to a scammer, hang up and contact Dominion Energy directly.
I want to talk to Major Angela McConnell because she called me recently and said, we've got veterans who are concerned about scams. So tell me what happened.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for this show, Action Speaks Louder, because we started this conversation because of some calls I was getting from Dominion Energy, supposedly. And I said, this is like one of the #1 biggest fraud issues that we're having with veterans. They're taking advantage of our elderly and disabled veterans, and I want to do something about it. And you're like, why don't you come on my show?
Come on my show. I know, you were the instigator of this, so thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. We have many elderly and disabled veterans that we work with. It's our main population. And fraud is an issue across the board with all of us. And with our veterans, especially our elderly veterans, it's even worse. They will get calls from numbers that look like they're coming from the VA or emails. Requesting information like your social security number and things that you're not supposed to give out. But when you see those coming through, especially as an elderly person, it's hard to hang up the phone and then try to figure out who to call back.
Right.
So that's our #1, biggest issue, is letting our veterans know that when they're working with Nova veterans, they can call us. And they have our numbers. We have a system built to where we safeguard against fraud. So when they're getting our help, they have our main numbers, they know who to contact, and we deal with multiple, probably hundreds of veteran service organizations and agencies that help our veterans, but we coordinate that care. So our veteran knows who's calling, when they'll be calling, or who they're supposed to reach out to, and then if they're ever not sure, they can reach back to our main support specialists and find out, who it is exactly, because they get confused, quite honestly. We have like 80, 90-year-old veterans that are still living on their own, and they deal with a lot of people and a lot of doctor's appointments and things like that, and they just get confused. So we're kind of their safeguard. They can call us, and even if the organization is not working through us, we can call and verify and make sure.
I know, I just have to say this, but I mean, if we can have, facial recognition on our phone, we can figure out a way, somebody can figure out a way to stop these scammers. In the meantime, since we don't have control of that, we really have to get the word out and help people. So if people out there have a loved one, a veteran, an elderly person that a neighbor, talk to them about these scams. Yes. Because the more they know, then you're arming them with information, and maybe they won't be so afraid, because these scammers really work on fear, don't they?
They do, and back to Monica's point, they scare you into saying you're not going to get your benefits anymore. These will cancel, and you have to give us this information so you can get more benefit, and different things like that. Either the scare tactic, or we're going to turn off your power.
Sometimes they flip it around and say, "Oh, you're due this money. You have a tax refund, but you have to tell me right now."
Exactly.
Well, that's what happened to my parents. Oh, we have a tax refund, but no, you have to do it right now. No one's ever going to do that. No government agency or Dominion Energy or a reputable company is going to demand that you do something right now over the phone.
Right. So we always have them try to double check and verify, never give out any personal identifying information like their name or social security number, even their address, and to call us back and make sure that they're talking to who they're supposed to be talking with.
Something I noticed, my son had a piano teacher who is elderly. She is so smart, and she got scammed because the scammers listened to what she was saying, and they said that first they started off saying, I'm your grandson or something, and somehow they heard her say the name of the grandson, and then she thought, like they'll pick up on whatever personal information you might give, and they'll turn it around and make you think that they know what they're talking about. Somehow they're like actors.
They are.
These actors.
They're very well trained, and there are actual fraud schools that people go and they learn these things in different countries in Africa and other places around the world. So one of our biggest, one of our first veteran clients was getting scammed by someone on the other side of this world, and unfortunately, the people prey on the lonely, and those that are single and want attention, and they want communications. and preyed on this one older Korean War veteran, and he was taken for all of his money, time after time after time.
How
so it went
heartbreaking.
on for a couple years before before he came to us and we realized what was going on and that he was completely taken advantage of.
And I've heard stories too about people that it takes a while for them to realize that that they're being scammed, and they'll keep giving money.
They will. They will. In return for communications, just getting someone on the phone with them, and that's another piece that we try to provide and work with our veterans, because a lot of times they just want to have someone to talk to and reach out, especially these days when we're not getting out at all.
Let me go back. We have one more video that I do want to play, a third video that we've used on social media, and it's called How to Outsmart a Scammer. Take a look. So back here in the studio, back to you, Monica. Tell me what kind of, do you hear from our customers a lot that they have heard from scammers or that they have been scammed?
I'm sure we do. And many of them are probably calling because they did receive a phone call and they're calling to make sure everything is okay with their account. And that's absolutely what we want people to do.
Yeah.
We want, if they have any uncertainty about the call, hang up, check their app, check our website. They can log in and go to manage account, find out exactly, see real-time information about their account, or they can give us a call. That's what we want them to do.
Yeah, I truly hope people don't fall victim, but I know they do. In fact, I had mentioned the website Truecaller. And it says that it's a leading platform, global platform for verifying contacts and blocking unwanted communications. And that's really what scammers are, right? Unwanted communication. And Truecaller says that a staggering $29.8 billion was lost to phone scams in America last year. And so in its 2021 report, Truecaller found that of those who lost money to phone scams in the past 12 months, what do you think the average was for the average person who lost money? Take a guess.
50%?
$500.
Oh,
I mean, a dollar
$500.
amount. I was looking for,
Okay.
the average person lost $500. And that's up from $350 in 2020. So this is already for 2021 that they've done a report. But I mean, that's just incredible. So that means, the other half of that average lost more. But that's a lot of money for someone to lose. It also says that most of these people, 60% were duped by robocallers. And money lost to scams in the last 12 months equates to an estimated $29 billion. That's just incredible. And also 59% of Americans have received scam calls. 59%. Receive scam calls. It's such a widespread problem. Angela, let's go back and talk to you more about your organization, because you started the Northern Virginia Veterans Association in 2015, I think you told me?
Yep, January 2015.
And tell us about what led you to start the organization.
Well, being a veteran myself, I was involved with veteran nonprofits and doing work, and my work in the military was very comprehensive. I was in intelligence, so we were always looking at the bigger picture, a comprehensive picture. And when I got out, I realized when I was working with these other nonprofits that we weren't looking at the veteran holistically and giving them a place to go to ask all the questions and get those needs met. They were going to different sites and different organizations, and which is fine if you're capable and you can get through it. Sometimes people can get through them. I know I struggle myself.
A lot of red tape, yes.
A lot of red tape. And what we ended up doing with the association is realizing that the elderly veterans are the ones that are truly struggling, those that have challenges with computer systems or phone prompts, being able to hear well and understand how to fill out an application and get their information there. Those are the ones that truly need our one-on-one support, because we didn't want to be a big management, a directory of information. We wanted to be able to help the veteran get from where they are and their needs, whether that be food or transportation or legal support, get them from there to the services, and the services getting back and given to our veteran. And so that's what we do. We're very different in that respect.
And we worked together. We had a really interesting case of a veteran who needed surgery, and he had a beloved dog, but he had no relatives, nobody to take the dog.
Yes.
And so your organization, through another organization, you reached out and found this family. It was during the pandemic.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah,
It's such a great story.
No, it is one of my, Robert and Sasha. Yes. Sasha is the yellow lab. It is one of my favorite stories as well. And this goes back to our philosophy of collaboration with multiple partners. So we put out on Facebook what we were looking for. We went to different animal groups to see if we could find a foster family. That wasn't working. And then the daughter of a family in Fauquier County reached out and said, hey, my parents and their son can take this puppy and foster it for a while. And we did the introductions. So we worked with PACT, which is an animal service company that places military and veteran-owned pets with foster families while they're deployed or they have other like operations and things that they need to get through. So PACT helped us place the pet, went through all the vetting, and they are still friends to this day. Sasha will go out and visit the foster family. And it was such a beautiful relationship that in the end, once our work was done, Sasha is actually in Robert's will to be given to the foster family if anything ever happens to Robert. So that's just how close these relationships are with what we do.
I spoke to Robert, I remember, and he was just so relieved that he had some place to put his dog when he went in for surgery. And the neat thing on the other side, the family that took him, they had a son who was home during the pandemic, and so many, people experience loneliness, and you're isolated, and here this teenage boy got this dog, and it was a beautiful story all the way around. So
it was a great partnership.
I can't thank you enough for what your organization is doing to help veterans.
I think one of the things we like to tell our veterans when they call, because usually once they get with us, it's more than one thing they need. And if they need us once, they're going to continue to need our help. And we just like to say, veterans, you're home now when they reach out to us. Like, they don't have to worry, and we give them that peace of mind that we're going to be there and follow up and personally.
And are you,
them.
back to the whole issue today that we're talking about, scams, are you reaching out to all of your veterans and all your contacts there and telling them, please watch out for scams? How do you communicate that?
We do. When we were doing our COVID outreach, I think last year we started seeing more and more of the VA scams come through.
Yes.
And we called our veterans and let them know, all of the ones that we've helped in the past and all the ones that called in, current, we would let them know that do not respond if someone calls and says they're the VA or they're us. Definitely check our website. If you don't have the capability, check our website. The person, you can call our person directly.
Have they used your name too?
Yes.
The name of your organization?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they have.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, and it's easy because these scammers will get on the web and they'll figure out who's who, and they'll leverage that to their advantage. And
they'll steal phone numbers and make it look like it's coming from that number, because I've had that happen. People will say, you just called me and said this. No, nope. So they can scam, company numbers and then make it seem like they're coming from you. So please, if you're out there and you have just let everyone know, hey, if you're getting calls and someone's demanding money and wanting information from you, it's a scammer, and hang up. No need to even get
big red flag.
Yeah. So just put the word out. And what do you think? What can friends do to put the word out? Anything else people can do to protect themselves from scams and protect veterans?
Well, your friends, your family, your neighbors of older veterans, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, definitely educate them like we're doing with this show. And say if someone's calling you and they say something as urgent or emergent, that just, know that's a red flag, and to hang up and to call someone you trust to verify. If it's not us, call your neighbor that helps you out, call one of your family members and have them help you out and verify. So, but I think that emergent, that urgent necessity piece is the hugest red flag to educate people on.
And Monica, would you agree with that? That urgency is the big education point here?
Fear factor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's that fear. And, especially if I think about your electricity, like, oh my goodness, we don't want that to go out in our houses, right? So if someone calls us and says, oh, you're going to be disconnected within the hour if you don't pay right now, you're going to say, oh my goodness, like that's going to affect everything in my home. What do I do?
Right.
And so what we want, but again, we don't threaten urgent disconnection. So if veterans or if our customers more broadly receive those type of calls, you can hang up and give us the call. Or I love Angela's point, call someone you trust and say, hey, I got this call. Can you help me figure out if I should have gotten it? Who do I call? Who do I find out from to make sure this is really a valid call and I need to take action?
Great points. Monica, thank you so much for coming on and joining us and giving us all those pointers. And Major McConnell, thank you for joining us and telling us all about your wonderful organization and also all the pointers about how to help people protect themselves against scams. I'm Peggy Fox. Thanks for watching Actions Speak Louder. We hope you join us next time to learn more about how Dominion Energy is supporting our communities and building clean energy and a sustainable future. Be safe.